On Jumada Thani 16th, 1400 AH, the great Shia Islamic thinker and reformist Ayatollah Sayyid Hasan Shirazi, the brother of the grand Jurist Ayatollah Sayyid Shirazi, was martyred in Beirut, Lebanon. The great Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi devoted his life to fight the heretic thoughts and preach the culture of the Shia Islam on a global scale. For this reason, he founded many Islamic seminaries, religious institutions, and cultural foundations in different parts of the world. Here is a brief biography of this great Shia Islamic thinker.
The martyr Ayatollah Sayyid Hasan Shirazi was born in 1927 in the holy city of Najaf in Iraq. The childhood of Sayyid Hasan Shirazi was enriched with the love of the pure household under the influence of sacred shrine of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, in holy Najaf. Soon, this pure love led the young Sayyid Hasan Shirazi to continue the path of his scholarly forefathers at Islamic seminaries. Years passed and Sayyid Hasan Shirazi fed his interminable thirst for knowledge of pure household and finally achieved the level of ijtihad. The martyr Ayatollah Sayyid Hasan Shirazi served the religion of Islam with his life in many different countries such as Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and Egypt. The numerous religious journals and publications of Ayatollah Sayyid Hasan Shirazi were influential vehicles that revolutionized the Arabic literature and promoted the culture of Shia Muslims in Iraq. In these years, the unyielding spirit of young Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi and his strong and critical articles made him a strong barrier to the propaganda machines of the anti-Islamic movements. In Syria, Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi was successful to establish the Islamic Seminary of Lady Zainab, peace be upon her, which helped him to widen the scope of his religious and cultural activities among the Alawite Muslims. The foundation of Culture and Scientific Assembly of the League of Scholars and the School of Imam Mahdi in Lebanon was also among the great legacies of martyr Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi. The continuous efforts of the martyr Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi resulted in a famous announcement that brought the Alawite Muslims back to their origins, the Shia Muslims. A while later, and following an invitation by a number of Lebanese business people in Ivory Coast, the Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi set off on a journey to this African country, and in his short stay, he began the construction of Islamic Center. During this travel, Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi revived the spirit of the Jinn Islam in Africa and began a series of Islamic movements that spread wide across this big continent. Back in Syria, Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi was vocal in opposing the Ba'ath Party. This great and tireless scholar focused his activities to raise the public awareness, and in this way he underwent many hardships and difficulties. Besides his active political and social activities, the martyr Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi was a prolific and productive author. His masterwork is an encyclopedic work titled as The Word. Finally, on his way to the funeral service of martyr Muhammad Baghir Sadr, Ayatollah Hasan Shirazi was attacked by Ba'ath agents and was martyred on Friday, on 20th of May 1980. His pure body was taken to the holy city of Qom, and after the Grand Ayatollah Marashi Najafi performed the prayers on his body, he was laid to rest in the shrine of Lady Masuma, peace be upon her. The Islamic Seminary of Zainabiyya in Damascus was hosting the 38th Martyrdom anniversary of the late Ayatollah Sayyid Hasan Shirazi in the Syrian capital. This memorial ceremony was attended by scholars, religious experts and speakers, the religious students, the representatives of the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi and other groups of people. Sheikh Abbas Nouri began this ceremony by reciting some parts of the Holy Quran. Then Sheikh Luqman Badr took the stage and recited his poems. Sheikh Muhammad Ramadan and Sheikh Muwaffaq Ghazal were the two speakers of this ceremony. It is worth noting that Sayyid Muhammad Ali Shirazi, the son of the late Grand Jurist Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Shirazi, also participated in the ceremony and talked about the great scientific character of his uncle, Ayatollah Sayyid Hasan Shirazi.